Welcome to another episode of the Awakening with Kelvin Perry podcast, where we explore bold ideas, hard truths, and inspiring stories that shape the future of Africa. This is another episode in our Bridges to Prosperity series, where we talk about the challenges and opportunities of building Africa's future one step at a time. Today's topic is one that hits home for many of us in the diaspora. Why do so many diasporans fail when investing in Africa? We leave our home countries, work hard abroad, dream of coming back to build something meaningful, yet for many the journey ends in frustration, loss, or outright failure. What's going wrong? And more importantly, how can we get it right? Let's dive in. The dream versus the reality. Many of us in the diaspora carry the dream of returning home and investing. Whether it's real estate, farming, businesses, or startups, we envision ourselves building something that will not only secure our future, but also contribute to Africa's development. But let's be honest, how many times have we heard the story of someone who sent money home for a house only to find an empty plot, or those who invested in a business that never took off? The reality is harsh and the statistics are not encouraging. But why is this happening? The common pitfalls. Let's break it down. Here are the main reasons why diasporans fail when investing in Africa. Trusting the wrong people. Family, friends, and even so-called trusted contacts are often the biggest source of disappointment. It's a harsh reality, but the number of diasporans who have lost money through relatives mismanaging projects is staggering. The absence of direct supervision leads to poor execution, inflated costs. Solution: do due diligence, get everything in writing, and use professional third parties where possible. Lack of on-ground presence. Africa operates very differently from the structured environments many of us are used to abroad. A contract doesn't always mean much if you're not physically there to enforce it. Without regular monitoring, projects stall, money disappears, and corners are cut. Solution: if you can't be there, have a reliable and accountable project manager or partner who is. Underestimating bureaucracy and corruption. Getting permits, registering businesses, or dealing with local authorities can be a nightmare. Some diasporans assume that because they have money, things will move smoothly. But without the right networks and understanding of how things work, frustration builds quickly. Solution: seek local legal and business advisory services before you start investing. Poor financial planning and unrealistic expectations. Some people assume that because they earn in pounds, dollars, or euros, their money will stretch forever in Africa. But high inflation, fluctuating exchange rates, and unexpected costs can quickly erode capital. Many projects remain unfinished because of poor budgeting. Solution: plan long-term, diversify, and avoid putting all your money into a single project at once. Investing without understanding the market. Just because something worked abroad doesn't mean it will work in Africa. Some diasporans try to replicate business models without understanding local demand, culture, and competition. This is why many businesses fail to gain traction. Solution: do thorough market research before investing. Speak to locals, understand consumer behavior, and test small before going big. Cultural disconnect and mindset differences. After living abroad for many years, we sometimes forget how things work back home. We expect Western efficiency and speed, but things move differently in Africa. This disconnect leads to frustration and, in some cases, abandoning projects altogether. Solution: adapt to the local way of doing business while maintaining high standards of accountability. Success stories: what works? Despite these challenges, many diasporans have successfully invested and built thriving businesses in Africa. What are they doing differently? They build local partnerships. Instead of trying to do everything alone, they find reliable local partners who understand the terrain. They start small and scale up. Rather than going all in, they test the waters before expanding. They use technology for monitoring, from CCTV cameras to online banking. They leverage technology to track their projects remotely. They stay involved. Even if they live abroad, they make regular trips home to keep an eye on their investments. They educate themselves on local laws and policies. They work with lawyers, accountants, and business advisors to avoid costly mistakes. Key takeaways. How to succeed. So, if you're planning to invest in Africa, here's what you need to remember. Due diligence is everything. Never send money blindly. Be present or get a trusted representative. Monitor your investments actively. Understand local laws and market dynamics. Get professional advice. Don't rely solely on family or friends. Use contracts and formal agreements. Be patient and adaptable. Things won't always go as planned, but resilience is key. Investing in Africa is not impossible. It just requires the right approach. At the end of the day, Africa is home. While the challenges are real, the opportunities are immense. The key is to be smart, strategic, and intentional with our investments. If we get it right, we won't just succeed personally, but we'll also contribute to building a stronger Africa. I'd love to hear from you. What has been your experience investing in Africa? Have you faced any challenges, or have you found strategies that worked? Reach out. Let's continue the conversation. Don't forget to subscribe to the Awakening with Kelvin Piri podcast and share this episode with fellow diasporans who need to hear this. Until next time, stay inspired, stay informed, and keep building bridges to prosperity.